Clickbait. I know a lot of you guys tuned in because you seen the title. I know a lot of you guys wish that happened. But on the real, you decide. Doesn't matter to me, win, lose, or draw. It's just another day growing up on my block.
55, 6 had to nigga, I'm from my lane. Avenue, rich rolling. 60th to 64th, dope deals going up on 9 lane. 57 up to 54th, got the dope pushing for the fiends. Get my money up on 9 lane.
So this episode of True Stories is actually a fight story. It comes from the early 90s, somewhere between 90 and 93, somewhere up in that range. So this one particular family, the Brumley family, grew up on the corner of 57th and Eileen, down the street from where I grew up.
57, 54th in the 70s. Bubba plus Big Stan was a dream team. There was the G's on the block, Big and Lil Twin. Lived off of 57th in my hood, man. OGs from the West Side Crip days. OG Cutes visiting with the Brumley twins. Used to park his car up around the corner. Casey Rollers coming down the street and they spot him. Magnificent Seven to zip the weights, they were big took. Barefoot Pookie lifting no spot. Nigga, I'm from my lane. Avenue, rich rolling. 60th to 64th, dope deals going up on 9 lane. 57 up to 54th, got the dope pushing for the fiends. Get my money up on 9 lane.
My name is Quinn. I grew up in Los Angeles by 54th Elementary School, down the street from Kev Mac.
This was a tough family. All of them with the business when we were coming up. They had a good reputation. They ran with the West Side Crips, particularly Cutes, Mouse, Rusty, a little bit of Tookie, Barefoot Pookie, and those type of cats, right? Eileen was a cool block, man. I love that block. And when we was growing up, we would play baseball at 54th Street School. Easy to hit a home run for us, particularly like my brother because he was older and stronger. Jay Shaw, another resident of Eileen, he used to hit that ball hard. So one day we playing ball and somebody hit a home run over the fence and through the Brumley's kitchen window. We had a homie named Brian Meeks off Analyst Vista. Brian was blamed for the home run, so the Brumleys come to the baseball field and we know them, so we ain't tripping, we ain't running, we ain't scared of nothing. They on our block, me and my brother's block, right? So we not tripping. But Brian was kind of big. And Brian wasn't no scary dude. So them dudes called Brian out, and Brian's just looking at him like, you know, so what? Them dudes kidnapped Brian and put him in the garage for some hours. So that shook us up, like, man, you don't want to mess with them Brumleys. Like, Brian just disappeared. Nobody called the police or nothing, because these are neighbors. And eventually, they let Brian go. Just had a talk with him, intimidated him, and let him know, like, the Brumleys ain't to be fucked with, period. Quinn was like my dog. Quinn was born in 1958. He had a twin named Quincy that was killed in 1980 trying to rob an armored truck. Now, these dudes was known to have grenades and high-powered weapons in their garage. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I don't know if those grenades was live or not, but we're talking about in the 1970s to possibly early 80s, right? And these dudes was tough guys. And I remember they used to always wear blue rags and, you know, the khaki suits, no shirt, showing the muscles, the 501s, the suspenders, you know, that type of stuff, right? But nevertheless, as I got older, these guys became my friends. You know, Quinn's like a brother to me. The whole family. So Quinn and I got tight. We never had no issues. Glenn, the older brother, born in 1955. Glenn went by the nickname G. And that's what he was, a G. Born in January 1955. Glenn was 5'9", dark-skinned, buff in the chest, cut up in the stomach, probably 185 pounds, stocky build. And he was with the business. Glenn got sprung out on crack. See, when that crack hit the neighborhood, it ruined a lot of strong black men. I'm talking about if you was hard-working, a family man, a lot of dudes got sprung out on this crack, right? And so this particular family used to love to get high. And they hustled, they did their thing out in the street and got money. And so it was easy to make money for me with guys on the block getting high, right? And so Glenn used to clean my pigeon cages. You know, I'd give him $20, give him something small to clean my pigeon cage. He would do hard work, man, hard labor, cleaning up the yard, man. I mean, a great job, so I used to pay him to do that. Then I paid him to be my gardener. And I would pay dudes to go to Quick and Split for me and go get me something to eat. I'll let them drive my cars. I
used to go out to the hamburger stands and pick up hamburgers for them as they was gambling in the backyard.
These people were like brothers, but also customers and neighbors and friends, you know. They were like extended family, basically. Whenever I needed to put something down, you know, go put a link down or do whatever that may have been illegal, these guys were going to have my back, particularly Glenn. Quinn, same thing, but Quinn wasn't like on boy status. He wasn't like on smoker status. But Glenn was for a point in time. And Glenn was always in and out the penitentiary. In fact, the whole family was in and out the penitentiary as I was growing up and as I was getting money. But they were them dudes on the block, so I always gave them that respect. However, one day, Glenn owes me $300.
Back in the day, you know, it was a lot of stealing going on also back in the day. You know, people go out and they steal stuff, and they used to come and pawn it off to Kev Mac and get money for it. You know, stereos, car stereos, videos, TVs, whatever it is. They should just punt it to him. They come out and he'll pay them for them, and then he'll loan money out. Then make a deal with money where he'll loan out some money, and then you get like he might borrow $20. He charged you $30 for interest. So he was really had a business going on as far as making money.
And Glenn wants a few dollars to go get him some beer, or he wants some drugs on consignment. But Glenn, you owe me $300, homie. I need my $300. So Glenn, you know, smokers got that smoker drag. So Glenn gets at me and say, man, I got a check coming later on today. I'm like, well, you already owe me $300. We'll just wait till that check come later on today. So he keeps walking up the street to my house and knocking on my door. He's like, man, I'll do anything, man. You got anything for me to clean up? You got some anything? Need me to make a run for you? Need me to go steal something for you? What do you need? I'm like, I need my money. So I fall for it. I get a nigga $20. Go get him some beer and cigarettes. Go do what you're going to do, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like having a party in his garage. But everybody's waiting on the party to begin. Long story short, man. Glenn don't pay me. Glenn sends a smoker to my house. So the smoker tells me that Glenn is down there partying. He got a party going on in his garage. So I'm like, man, I'm going to go get that dude. As soon as school's out, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to cause some ruckus. Well, before I could go down there, Glenn comes up to my house and Glenn says, man, I got a TV, man. You could have this TV. It's a nice new TV. So I'm like, oh, wow. Nice new TV. I could use that. I could always use a nice new TV. So Glenn comes carrying the TV up the street. But when I see the TV's nothing fancy. Regular tube TV. I got better TVs than that. My bedroom, living room, back room. I can't do nothing with that. So now Glenn is mad because he walked all the way up the street sweating with this TV, and now he got to take the TV back. I don't know what the issue was with Glenn, but he didn't want to come up off that money. So now it gets dark. School is over with. No kids, no teachers, no faculty, nothing. Nothing but the snitch-ass janitor across the street. So I grab a Chrome 38. So I decide I'm going to walk down the street with my burner and go get at Glenn. Only thing I got to worry about is along the way, the Marina Del Rey sheriff or the Lenox sheriff, if they see me, they're going to immediately get on me. That's mandatory, automatic.
it was an area where the school was right across the street, and that's the area where anything you did had to be at least 100 yards away, 100 feet away from the schools, and that's probably why the police was just in and out all the time watching them. And they even had a main police that know our names, but know everybody by name, Cotton. He used to be always at his house, waiting outside, watching down the street. Sometimes he stopped at our house, looking up the street, and he was, checking out all the activity that was going on.
And I walked down the street, and I bust into the back gate. I'm banging on the back door. Nobody's answering the door. I hear a woman in the house, and I hear like some rats or something like in the garage. The rats turn out to be smokers, scared to death. They spook, they tweaking. So I'm like, where Glenn at? He in the house. Glenn won't come out the house. So I say, all right. So I hide behind the door. I hide behind the house, and he comes out the back door. And when he comes out the back door, I'm like, what's up, man? Where my money at? And he said, oh, you tripping. No, I ain't tripping. I'm here for my money. Glenn's the type of guy that done fought everybody in the neighborhood. No matter how tough you are, no matter what type of weapons you have, Glenn done fought dudes. Glenn done been stabbed with screwdrivers, Phillips screwdrivers, ice picks. Glenn done had wounds all over his arms and body from having fights. So Glenn's a tough dude. Glenn ain't no punk. He ain't no buster. He ain't turning nothing down. But he's a good dude, though, and very respectful. But he's down, so he's going to be sarcastic or whatever, but he's not going to be no punk. And he said, man, you don't come at me like that. So I hit him across the head, bow, as hard as I could, and I mean as hard as I could. I bust his eye in his head instantly. Glenn just stands there, he takes it like nothing happened. So I'm in shock, he's looking like he's in shock, eyes big, and I don't know what to do next, because the 38 done flew out my hand. And Glenn's still standing there, but it's nighttime. There's no lights on back there. I can't see where the gun is at. Even though it's chrome, I don't see the shine through the dark. So now I'm trying to look at the gun and look at Glenn too. And Glenn fired on me. Bow! I was unexpected. And then he kicks me. And then he kicks me again and knocks me into a tree. I almost fall. And I'm thinking, oh shit, he finna get me. He finna get that gun. He finna bust on me. So I'm looking for the gun. I don't see the gun. And Glenn comes at me. And I hit him with a left. Boom. I hit him with a right. Boom. Uppercut. I'm socking him. Then he quickly kicks me with a left. And then he kicks me with a right. And knocks me into a tree. And I fall back on the tree. And I'm thinking, Glenn's finna get me, man. He finna get that gun. He finna bust on me. So I'm looking for the gun. I don't see it. And Glenn fires on me again. I duck. And he skins my head. And I'm like, oh shit, this is a real fight now. So now I just come up out of it. Left, right, left. I'm firing on him. I'm getting him. But Glenn ain't backing up. So I can't really get off the tree. So I try to turn around. And he grabs me. When he grabs me, I fire on him up under his chin. I'm tearing him up, but he won't let me go. And then he pushes me. He gives me a strong push. And I fall on the ground. I'm like, oh shit, dude got me now. But he leaves me on the ground. I don't know if he's dazed, he's tired. I don't know what it was, but he didn't rush me from while I was on the ground. So I get up off the ground and I'm scanning. I'm scanning the yard for that chrome 38. But I don't see it. And now I'm like, damn. So I don't know what to do. I can't run out the gate because that's going to look bad. And he might chase me down. He might bust on me from the back. I don't know. But what I do is I go to the garage and I look in the garage. Man, you got all these smokers hiding up under beds and shit, screaming, no, don't shoot, don't shoot. Little do they know I don't have my gun no more. Glenn know I don't have it. So I'm like, all right, nigga, I'm out of here. So I bail back up the street, contemplating the whole situation. What should I do now? I got to get my gun back. Another thing you have to know as a gang member or a hustler in the hood is you can never let a smoker beat you up. If you let that smoker beat you up, he's probably going to always come back and think he can punk you not pay you, talk bad to you, disrespect you in front of homies, and that's a no-no. So that morning, I come back. I ain't got no strap, I ain't got no weapon. I come back and I bust through the gate. And Glenn's like, "What's up, fool?" I'm like, "Nigga, you know what's up." He like, "Nah." I'm like, "Nigga, where my money at?" He said, "Check this out, homeboy. That wasn't cool what you did last night, but I got your money, man. Just chill, I got your money." And I fire on it. Bow, bow, give me my money. And he's like, "Oh shit, you gonna do that? You gonna really do that?" And then he goes into this karate stance. And I quickly remember last night, even though I could see clearly now, and I know he's with the business, which I already knew anyway, there's one thing you always have to let a smoker know, and that's that you mean business. You have to always let a smoker know you're serious about your money. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go through another karate episode. Like, getting kicked below the belt and kicked in my stomach into a tree made me think. These dudes were really somebody before they started smoking. As I said, he was a G. He was with the business. He did boxing and karate and all that when he was young. Quinn was an athlete, track star at Crenshaw High. Like I said, we pulled licks together. So I know this dude ain't no punk or nothing like that, but it made me think. Smokers are people too, man, because they wasn't always smokers. They was thugs, gang members, whatever, students, fathers, family men, brothers, uncles, cousins. They were all of that before they were smokers. And so these dudes got squabbles or whatever they had coming up. They still got it. It stays with them. And the heart is still there. Some men get broken down and become soft, but not the Brummies. G was like the big homie or a big brother. And when his mother died, I wrote all his brothers and let them know their mom had passed. They had no idea. But sometimes you got to put your foot down. Friends, family, that stuff don't matter sometimes. Sometimes it's about principle, and it's for damn sure about my money. And that's it for my story for the day.
Sitting reminiscing about the days of way back. Big kid dollar folders, gun holders with the gym on the rollers. Beat a fire at the stove shop. Don't make dollars, it don't make sense.